Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah. Before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. We should always spend more time examining the foundations of our arguments than we spend proclaiming the conclusions. The reason is simple. When the basis of a claim is incorrect, the decision arrived at with those claims must also be false. And wrong decisions are almost always dangerous.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your geographical location. Welcome to this evening program of Foster Broadcast for the Weekend. I am your host, aka Electricity. Today's discussion will be interesting. I can assure you of that. And my fellow panelists will be joining me, so I'll bring them into the studio soon. And as you can see, the topic, separation and divorce, on the thumbnail says that the white man gave it to us. Where is that of the black man? And if you read the description, it gives you insight of what we will be talking about. Madam Nelly, good evening, and thank you for honoring the invitation.
How are you?
Welcome on board. Can say one or two things before we get into full swing. The floor is yours to you to greet the viewers.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your location. It's really nice to see everyone and to see everyone comment. Electricity, it's a long time I haven't heard from you.
Yeah, sorry, I've been a little bit, well, I say busy of late. So
yeah, I know, as well as everyone. Beginning of the year, everybody is getting back.
Yeah, so apologies for that. While we are waiting for Chim to join us, we will go ahead with what we're about to discuss this evening. Let me try to lay the foundation here, which is we are trying our best to look for a solution to our problem. And it appears, I use the word it appears, that there seems not to be any solution for us given to even the recent things that happened during the week. I believe you are up to date with the drama coming out of our great country, out of our great country, Nigeria. So the drama seems not to be coming to an end. But that aside, my fear keeps increasing every day as to if we will ever get this nation back on track. It is a fear, and I believe most people will share that fear with me, given to what is happening around there.
Electricity, I'm kind of backward. I didn't know what happened, if I may ask.
The recent I don't know if let me see if I have it here, and the recent discovery of money that was
Oh, the Edu.
yes, that's the most
Oh, okay,
recent.
okay, I know. I had.
Okay, so and it's just one out of millions that's happening, and it becomes scary to me every day that where actually are we going to. So I'm gonna put up something here before we go into look at this statement on the screen, please. It
Okay.
says since sentences for evil are not carried out immediately, and there are many ways of escaping the penalty, the heart of men become fully set on running the risks of doing evil. Do you agree with that, Madam Nelly?
No, I don't.
Why don't you, please?
I think human beings are always looking for immediate gratification, which I know that whatever evil people, I know what, at least I would say that the person making this statement, that's the way they're viewing it. But me personally, I know that people will definitely get their punishment, even though on the surface, the government is not giving it to them, and so people continue to commit atrocities. But I know that they are not going to escape. Is the punishment they will get will be even bigger and more serious than
No.
than
Sorry, what this statement is saying is not saying that people will not get punishment either here or there, but it's talking about present now, that in the sense that because sentence or like because consequences, like we are using
yeah.
Nigeria.
The person is right with what
Yeah,
they're saying. Yes,
because
I agree
we,
with the person. Yeah.
we've not seen any consequences so far
No, there's
in Nigeria, and that is why this thing keeps happening over time. And as long as so, that is the best. So, like I said, the foundation of this discussion is to look for solution. And if something is not working for us, then maybe we have to now think of, okay, this thing is not working for us. Let's go another direction, and let's think.
are we ready to think of a solution? That's another question. Are we really ready?
Yeah, I think we are ready. I think I'm not speaking for everybody. I think use
Electricity
the
is
word think
ready.
we are ready.
Electricity is ready, but the Nigerian people are not ready, or human beings are not ready. Most especially we in Nigeria, we Nigerians, we're not ready. If I talk this evening, I'm actually going to sound like a broken record, because I was talking to Dr. Damages, I think it was 2 days ago, and I said if the tape, I forgot which of the topic that was being discussed, and I said, I specifically mentioned this lady's name. I said, in those days, they always said that whenever they're doing things and a woman comes in, things get better. But these days, we still have all these women committing atrocities even worse than men, And I did specifically mention this lady. I said, because I was looking at her, the way she was even jumping around during the campaign. Yeah, I personally, I read people's body language. I knew that she was nothing close to honesty at all. I knew I've never met her before. I didn't know who she was before. All these things came out, or during the election last year. I never had anything. I've not read anything about her, so it's not like somebody that I know. But the way she was behaving during the election, the way she was behaving during this nomination of ministerial whatever that she is, I said it in Damage's platform that she's nothing but a fraud. And even there was a time that, several times I watched her in Arise News. They will ask her a question and she's just combabulating and people were listening to her. And then at one other interview, she was busy. Oh, Tinubu is such and such a good human being. Isn't that fallacy?
Okay. Thank you for that, because I had a broadcast about this yesterday, and you just buttressed the point when she gave a testimony, and I did say that there's a scheme from my own studies. Let me highlight some comment. Greetings, Mark Nelly. Greetings to you as well. Greetings to you, Comfort.
Bella, how are you,
Comfort.
princess?
So
She's so nice.
she's in the background there. Now,
How are you?
I want to play a video I played last. I want you to listen carefully, because that's going to be another basis of our discussion. That listen to the words very well, and I will bring it out again.
We should always spend more time examining the foundations of our arguments than we spend proclaiming the conclusions. The reason is simple. When the basis of a claim is incorrect, the decision arrived at with those claims must also be false. And wrong decisions are almost always dangerous.
Did you get that? He said we should examine the basis of our argument.
Absolutely.
That is a very strong point Rudolph made.
Yes.
Our basis of argument could also be seen as our opinions, we hide behind it. So the basis of our argument, we should examine it very well. And that is going to be our foundational discussion. Now, let's look at this argument here. So this is an argument here. The Bible and Quran are foreign literature books given to us, and that they have not changed us, says Malcolm Omirabo. He's a lawyer and a human rights activist. Don't let us dismiss this argument, please, Madam Nelly. Just wait, please. Don't dismiss it. Don't, please. I'm appealing to you. I tend to agree with him in a way. I will explain, okay? Because it's all about we're looking for solutions here, okay? And I said, if my HP laptop is not working, and I've tried it over time it's not working, maybe I will go for what do you call this? Apple brand. Maybe Apple brand will do the work what I want to use it for. If Apple brand does not work for me, then I have to now maybe go higher than Apple brand, if there's anything like that. Okay, Apple brand what's the recommendation. So that's why I said we should not discuss this argument like the video we just watched right now. Okay, so but if we now take this argument or this quote or opinion or whatever it is, it means that we can say that it's applicable to all literature, all books, let's put it that way, because the Quran and the Bible are kind of regarded as one of the most popular religious book. So every other book equally as well. So let's, for the purpose of argument, say it is correct. Just for the purpose of argument, it is correct. The question will now be, because according to him, the claim is that the foreigners and the Arab gave the foreigners, our colonial masters, gave us the Bible. Then the Arabs or whatever it is gave the Quran, and they've not changed us. Let's agree on that, and that is why the country is where it is today. Mm-hmm. As such, it begs the question I ask: where is that of the black man? Where is the book, or where is the blueprint that we need to follow to get things right back in Nigeria, first and foremost, and in the continent of what? Of Africa? Because it seems this book that they gave to us, okay, is working for them. So for some strange reason, it's not working for us. So that is the foundation of our discussion. It also means that the issue of marriage, everything that is contained in these two books or in those books are not working for us. So, Madam Nelly, the floor is yours. Thank you.
So I think for me, before I even begin to say anything, I do acknowledge the question that Malcolm asked, but they also, what were Africans doing before these two books came to us? What were we doing? Because you know where my answer will be going, because I have said it times and times without number, that I'm a Buddhist. And when I started chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, my entire life changed. It changed also with what Rudolph just said. I have said it so many times before. If I hear something about someone, I always want to, collect more information before I make a decision about anything. I will not say that somebody is bad or somebody is wrong if I don't hear from the other side from the other person. It doesn't matter. So again, that's what Rudolph just repeated in his video. So the question that we all of us need to ask, if we really want to have a solution, what were we doing before these Bible and the Quran came to us? Because obviously we were doing something, and it was working because there were much peace then. So what were we doing?
So how do we find out now? What were we doing? Because when I highlighted this, I decided to remove. When I highlighted this one, I decided to remove the quotes and the person who made the statement and where I got it from. I did that deliberately, and I will still leave it. I won't reveal it until maybe towards the end of just not to let
Towards
the
the end
cat,
of the broadcast, yeah.
not to let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
So the question you rightly asked is, what were we doing before now that is working for us? And as such, when the Bible and the Quran came into equation, it stopped working for us. Now, many were so. What were we doing, Madam Nelly? I believe you've lived in the 50s before.
I've already said it before that the Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism that I'm practicing right now, I saw many things in this Buddhism that I'm practicing now with my grandmother, whom they were calling that she will wake up in the morning and mean she has a little shrine that she goes there, and she will use a chalk on the ground and use whiskey from a green bottle, and she will break cola. So the Igbos will call it Ogomo, and maybe if I translate it in English, it means paganism. So that's what I saw my grandmother doing. And my grandmother, with the eye of a child, my grandmother always said, do not hurt somebody else so that nothing comes to you. And that's exactly what Buddhism teaches me. It doesn't matter what electricity, as a human being, you do to me today. I will not hurt you, because when I see you, the first thing I see is a human being. Doesn't matter whether you are a governor or whatever you are. You're a human being for me first. When I learned this since I became a Buddhist. Everybody is a human being. So that's what I see. And under no circumstances will I destroy another human being. I will never do it. There's no amount of money anybody will pay me today for me to do that. And that's why I've said it in this platform or Damages platform so many times that if Tinubu gives me any position, I will not take it. And I think you said to me that day, oh, but if you don't get inside, you're not going to be able to help. No, I will not get inside, because he will not listen to what I will say to him. And also because that
Madam Nelly, can you hold on to that thought? Because actually we are going to test that argument. This part of what we're going to test today.
Okay.
We're going to test that argument.
Okay.
You did say something about your grandmother and the same literature book that we said is not working for us has not changed us. Is it the Bible says that you should do unto others as you want others to do unto you as well. I think this is buttressing your grandmother's say not to do evil to one. I'm not versed in the Quran. I've never opened the Quran and read it, so I can't weigh into.
But electricity, every time I talk about this, my Buddhist practice, a lot of Christianity will tell me, oh, but it's said in the Bible. But then the question that I also ask is, I know it's said in the Bible, but why is it that majority of us who then go to church or read this Bible still do evil? I mean, all the governors, all the Senate, the ministerial, all these people that are appointed, they get sworn in. And what do they lay their hands on? The same Bible.
Okay, here will not be a question. Is it the fault of the Bible or the Quran? Let's say they even use the Quran, they lay their hands also on the Constitution, or they so on to uphold the. Is it the fault of these literature books, or the fault of the individual because that failed to practice it? Is it the fault of the book?
To answer that, your question is, if I'm saying that probably is, if you want me to say to you, is it the fault of the individual? Is it the fault of the book? I really don't know what answer to give you. What I'm saying to you is that we human beings, we clamor, because every time I say to people, I'm a Buddhist and this is what I do, and that I used to be I was a very good Christian before. It's not like I practiced Christian on the surface. No, I was deep inside it. But then when I became a Buddhist and I studied about the karma and I practiced every day, my life, I kept on doing my human revolution. It didn't come to me in one day. Mind you, I've been doing this since 1986, which is 30-something years now, going to 40 years. I've been doing this, and I've been doing my human revolution every day. And it's a practice that when I do it, I see actual proof. I see how my life has been changing from being a better human being. And I continue to do that. So my question is, when people then tell me, oh, don't you believe in God? Oh, God is the only way. Oh, you have to go through Jesus Christ to get to God. And then I'm looking at their behavior. And it's not mimicking anything that is in that Bible. So my question is, why are we using the Bible or the Quran to hide under and continue to commit atrocity? Is that what we're doing? I don't know what to say to you, because as far as I'm concerned, I've always, even when I had a podcast with Damages, I said, why don't people try this? You try it for 1 month or 2 months. You are not a member. And if you go to try it, you try Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism and you chant Namyo Rengekyo. Try it and see how you will feel. If you don't feel anything, man, get out of it. Okay. But again, are we afraid to really do the right thing? Is that what it is?
If I understand what you're saying, it's not necessarily the book, but it is about the individuals practicing what the book, because we have Buddhists in Nigeria too, so it's across board.
Is there any Buddhist in Nigeria?
I don't know one, but I want to argue. Let me say I argue that there are Buddhists in Nigeria.
Only a few,
because that country has a lot of religion there. So there are Buddhists in Nigeria. So it's the argument is all across board, because if the Quran and the Bible are literature books, I believe the books that the Buddhists are using is actually in Nigeria also. And also there is also a literature book that is not working also. We're looking for the solution. Well,
you can't say there's also a literature book that is not working, because you haven't seen it. And not only that you haven't seen it, you don't know if you have Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhist members. I know there are. There's only few of them.
Okay.
Only few.
Okay. Let's focus. Let's test that argument now. Okay. Like what Dr. Damage says. Let's test that argument now, that they are there now. So you said when you practice Buddhist and you change by practicing it, and your environment also, anything you touches or whatever you do also change. Would that be correct for the record?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Now
yes.
you hold the position that if Tinubu invites you into his cabinet, you will not participate in his cabinet.
Yeah.
And we are looking for good people, whatever, we're looking for the solution and good people that will effect a change. You also argue here that we all have Buddha in us. If I am correct, please.
Yes, you do.
Just for the record.
You have a Buddha.
Would that be the case that are you suggesting that the Buddha in Tinubu is stronger than the Buddha in you as such? You cannot overcome any temptation that it throws across to you.
No,
Is that the case?
But you have to activate that Buddha nature. If you don't activate it, it's dormant.
I'm talking about you now, Madam Nelly.
No.
Yours is active. Is
Yes,
that correct?
yes,
Good.
because
And your Buddha is also equally strong. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Good. So the question is, if Tinubu invites you to participate, like the way he has thrown the invitation to the opposition party to come into his cabinet, are you suggesting, your argument is, are you suggesting that the Buddha in him, which is, for the purpose of argument, the bad Buddha in him is stronger than the good Buddha in you, as such, you cannot overcome any temptation or anything it throws across to you? Is that what you suggest?
Electricity, in a simple way for you to understand what I've been saying, it's a stolen good. If Tinubu won this election outright and then he's misbehaving, yes, I probably will join his cabinet. But it's a stolen good, so I don't want to be part of it.
Madam Nelly, you've not answered my question.
No, I've answered your question.
Madam Nelly,
because
whether it is a stolen good,
what you're asking me, his Buddha nature is not outweighing mine, but I will not be part of a stolen good.
Okay.
He did not win the election, and that's why I don't need to go. I don't need to go and work with him. No, because
Madam Nelly, 4 years.
If I do that, then it means that I'm supporting what he did.
Madam Nelly, 4 years is a long time to wait. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, this is us looking for a solution here. What I am asking is this, okay? You are a good person. You've said nothing can ever make you to succumb to his temptation, whatever it is.
Yes.
So the Buddha in you is asking you to go and effect a change. Will you tell the Buddha in you that, sorry, I cannot go there because this man stole the mandate? Look at what somebody is telling you, Madam Nelly. Comfort.
Please, no, I agree. Comfort. I so much love you so much. I so much love Comfort because she's always on the board. No,
Madam Nelly, listen. No. We've acknowledged that the present government is not different, but we are looking for solution here.
Electricity, jokes apart though. What makes you think that even as I am here in United States and in New Jersey, what makes you think that I'm not doing something to contribute?
See, by we being here, sorry for interjecting.
No matter how minute that it is.
I agree with you.
Minute that it is. Let me tell you, even with my daimoko on a daily basis, even for people like Obi to even come up to shake the youth, I am grateful. And he continues to do that. Maybe some of you are underestimating some of the souls that, because of the courage that Obi has displayed, 1 or 2 people, let me know, or maybe 1% of the youth have been affected by that. So I am appreciative to the powerful forces in the universe for Obi to even come up, regardless of whatever that has happened. And he never backed down. He never got discouraged. It's not an easy thing for him to be doing what he's doing. So even if I don't do, and even if you feel that I don't do anything, I will tell you, my Daimoko, every morning, sometimes I will wake up 2 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m., and I will chant for 3 hours. Some days I will do 4 hours. It's still very effective. Very, very effective. You might disagree with me. You might disagree.
Yes. Let me see if I can.
Yes.
Let me see if I can go around it. Okay.
Go ahead. Go
I
around.
was speaking to a friend earlier today, and the friend said, "You know what? Electricity. You people should keep talking because some of us cannot talk.
Okay.
We don't have that because the talking equally helps as well too.
Okay.
So we sit down here every time, every day, every weekend. We talk. It helps. There's no dispute that you like many other people are not doing something behind the scene. Yes, I agree. We know that people are doing things behind the scene, but with respect to my question, I am saying in regards to the literally inviting you, asking you the way he on in the New Year speech, the way he extended the invitation to the opposition to come together, let's work together and build the nation. Will you? Given to the strong Buddha in you that can overcome anything. Why don't you accept it? I mean, that's your little change that you will make, your presence will make, can go a long way to what?
And I will continue to tell you no, because it's a stolen good. If Tinubu was elected by the people, then regardless of his forged certificate, his drug dealings, all those ones, forget it. But it's because it's a stolen good. I don't know how else to explain it to you. I will not work because it's me encouraging that stealing things is a good thing. No, I will not. Because me going there, he won't even allow me to change anything. And I'm not going there to have a fixed fight with him. No,
Madam Nelly, I think I will disagree with you. Okay, that he will not allow you to change anything.
Yeah, you can. You can. You have every right to do that. But I'm telling you that I'm saying no on the ground that is a stolen good.
Okay. Yes. In terms of he will not allow you to change anything, you have your own portfolio, your ministerial portfolio, which you can work without anything. If he does not allow you to change anything, you have that option, that choice to step away from it and say, you know what, we can't, but you've not given it a shot. That is the point.
I won't give it a shot because it's a stolen goods.
So how do we recover these stolen goods back? Because if I to bring to your attention, is preparing for 2027 election.
Listen to me, electricity. This is why, for me, I keep trying to encourage people. Let's chant, because Tinubu did not do all these things by himself. People like Muhammadu, Professor Muhammadu, whoever. I don't know why I cannot. What's his name again? The
is it not the former
Yakubu Muhammadu or whatever? And then the Igbo one, the Igbo one that calls himself Okoye. All these people. If I were in Yakub's position, under no circumstances would I have done what he did. So what I'm saying to you is that the more enough people wakes up in Nigeria, then Tinubu will not have the upper hand to corrupt anybody or to ask people to do wrong, and they will do it. No. The more we all wake up. Afterwards, Yakubu Muhammadu is a Muslim. Okoye, the Okoye guy who is whether he's the next person in that INEC. I'm sure he's a Christian because he's an Igbo man, you know. So my question is that why are all these people, none of them could say no to and do the right thing. Oh, okay, look at Wike also. Look at Ababio. Why can't they stop? If Tinubu doesn't have all these people, and again, to me, I think that what happens to Tinubu is that if you want to work with Tinubu and you're not corrupt, the first thing he will do is to set you up anyway, and you get your hands dirty.
That is a strong allegation you're making. Are you so? Let's. I mean, we're testing arguments.
I don't know why all of them are all in this. Are all so filthy with whatever.
That is worrying. That is why I say it is worrying. So we need few good people in there. For example, yourself, that strongly believe that the chanting will change you and can change. So if you are close by him, or don't let us say close by him, or he gives you a portfolio and people are walking around you and going by your chanting, do you not think it's going to change people the way it has changed you, Madam Nelly?
I have to convert all of them.
Pardon?
I say I will have to convert all of my staff. But
so why don't you want? Why don't you accept the invitation?
Electricity. Why are you not getting my point? I'm telling you that the biggest elephant in the room here now is a stolen good. He did not win the election. If he had won the election, this our topic could have taken a different stand now. He did not win the election, so I'm not going to support, because then I'm sending a message to the younger ones. You can steal things and still get things right. No, it's not right. It's not right. I'm not going to be part of it.
Okay, let me highlight this comment. Nelly said change could start for 2027 if people start asking for structural change in INEC. So civil society, opposition party thanks the first start for a better election, which I 100% agree.
Absolutely.
However,
but how are we going to get there, though?
No, we'll get there. We agree with this. Yeah. But what I am saying is this, what I'm curious about is this, that we abandon this government, regardless of how we feel. He stole the election, whatever it is, and we have opportunity to go in there. Let's say the opportunity is given to us. Those of us that says we have that strong character, we're not going to get corrupted. Are we saying that we cannot work in this government and still make impact, or we will be corrupted? That is where I'm trying to get to.
Well, and I will keep on repeating myself. Nobody will ever corrupt me, but I will not work with somebody that stole something. I won't.
So let's go back to the things that work with us, that work for us.
Okay.
Outside. So because we need to start to implement those things, or we have to include those things into our society, back into our society that was abandoned before the Bible and Quran was given to us. We're taking all argument here, even though, like we've said, that we're hiding under the book. I mean, behind the book. Not that the literature books are the issue, but like I said, we're testing all arguments here, like Dr. Rudolph rightly said. So, what are the things that we were doing, or the thing we were doing then, in all aspects, in administration, in relationship, in everything, that were working for us, and we abandoned, so that we can go back to them and start to push for them, even into the system. The floor is yours, Madam Nelly. Thank you.
You know that sometimes you must understand that, and I'm going to use the eye of a child. What I'm seeing, I never saw my grandmother lock the gate in the building in the house where we were living, and nobody comes in there to steal anything. These days, you can't even keep your door open. I mean, there were human to human touch in those days. People can tell you the truth. People have much of a. I'm not saying that even in that era, there wasn't things that were bad, but it was not as bad as what we have right now. It's like we are just walking around. You barely could trust anybody. Sometimes you can't even trust your own child. Talk less more of somebody from the outside. In those days, I believe people were living a much better life. Now we have all this technology and it's chaos. It's just chaos. So the question is, what is it that this religion did for us? What did it do for us? That's what I'm saying. What did it do for us? Like if I'm speaking to maybe, let's say I come across 10 Nigerians in this New Jersey. Every time I open my mouth, they will tell me, oh, what do you believe in God? And then their wives, sometimes they will tell me, oh, can you come to our fellowship? I say, for what? I ask them, for what? I've tried. I've attended maybe 5-6 times to a fellowship. I go there and I sit down and I'm listening to them. I'm watching them. I'm really watching them. And then they finish. And sometimes I watch some of them, they keep malice. And I say to myself, but you keep bothering me. Come to fellowship. Come to fellowship. Some of them, absolutely no integrity. You say something. If I say something to you right now, it doesn't matter. Unless I'm dead, I will make sure that I honor what I say to you.
Okay, Madam Nelly.
Yeah.
This religion are practiced in the Western world. And
who told you in the Western world they practice it?
Come again?
Who told you that it's only in the Western world they practice?
No, I'm just trying to draw the things are working. The basic things are working for them. Is it the fault of
what makes you think that the basic things are working for them? They're human beings just like
but you have electricity where you are 24/7.
Well, electricity has nothing to do with me being a human being. If I'm a human being, let me tell you, electricity. If Nigerians, you start practicing this, I'm trying to tell you, nobody will do the wrong thing. And then, if you were given a position as an electrical engineering or whoever that is going to put electricity, you're not going to be busy thinking about how much money you're going to staff in Ghana must go back. You will want to make sure that that electricity will come up. And because the people that you will help with this electricity, the blessings that they will be giving you, they will not write you email directly. But in their various places, when this light came up, the blessings that they will be sending you, the universe will collect all of it and bring it into your life. But what we have today is that anytime you meet somebody from Africa, not just only in Nigeria, and you're talking to them, the first thing that comes to their mind, how am I going to cheat you? How will I make money? That's the first thing. Nobody thinks about delivering a good job. The money is the first thing that we are thinking about. Even if you're working, if we're doing business, when somebody comes to your business, even if you know that what they are trying to buy, maybe I know that people ship things from Nigeria, and by the time it gets here, what if it spoils? Are you going to remove them, or will you deliberately sell it to somebody, knowing that this thing is not good anymore? Do I want you to lose? You're a businessman. Do I want you to lose? Not really. But then you have to make sure that you calculate how many people comes to your store and who asks for these goods and these goods, so that when you go to order, you order at a minimum size, so that you will be able to sell all of it. And or even if you didn't sell all of it, whatever that is going to spoil will not be a lot for you to lose. Because I want you as a businessman to also make your money. But we don't think about that. We think about the money first. If I come in with my profession as a patient, your life is more important to me. Forget about the goddamn dollar. And I'm not saying, because I don't want people to say, oh, is she saying that she doesn't want money? I have to pay my bills. But I went to school because I want to see you safe. And if I will I'm not going to do a mediocre job. I must make sure that whatever I have to do for you to get healthy, I will do that. Whatever position that I'm holding, if I have to advocate for you, I will make sure that I advocate for you and tell you, well, if you don't understand what the surgeon is saying about your health, you need to, I will go and get that surgeon myself and say, please come back, explain this very well to this grandma or to this grandpa. I will never close my eyes just because I want to walk around. No. Again, becoming a Buddhist focuses me on all these things. I'm not saying to you that I'm better than you, but I'm saying to you that even since 1986 that I started this practice, I did a whole lot of human revolution with my life. And I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. Money is not my focus first. You are a human being. I will not even be around where people are planning to do wrong to you. I will not. No matter what you have done, I will say, let's dialogue, let's talk. But I will not remove any of your organs and use it in a fetish way so I can make money. For what? What am I doing with the money? Or to be a famous person? I don't need it.
Okay. Madam Nelly, the point you highlighted is still why I am still pushing you.
Okay.
And being on your neck, that with such a person like you, we don't need you outside, we need you inside. You may, yeah. We don't need you outside. For a person like Peter Obi, we don't need him outside, we need him inside. The good people are needed inside, because it is from inside we can start to bring this change to the outside. I know those of us outside also, we have a responsibility as well too towards this change. But for those of you inside, the good people inside will help those outside to make this change happen. And I also agree that we all have to do our human revolution, regardless of what religion.
Regardless of what religion you're in.
We are aligned to. We have to do this human revolution. But this statement here is what thing I know is missing in our society, Nigeria, Africa. I mean, let's just stick to Nigeria for now. Let's leave Africa out of the equation now, because we are dealing with Nigeria. This is what is missing, because nobody has ever been held accountable. And I say nobody has ever been held accountable. People have asked me, and I said it yesterday, why are you not calling out Tinubu? Why are you not doing this? And I said, listen, I will not be doing such. The reason why I will not be doing such is this. The man only has one thing to do. Regardless, forget that he stole the election, forget that how the election went. The only good thing he can do is for him to resign, to step down. And that's why I don't speak, because no matter what, the environment, the people surrounding him, nothing good is coming out, has ever come out. I mean, it's a shame that we're treading this path. And this quote here is taken from the Bible, Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. You see, that is why I said I don't want to mention it. If Malcolm is here, he will agree with this statement, because he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. So it is not the book that is the problem, or the books that are the problem. It is the individual who have refused to what that word you use, human revolution, allow the book or practice the dictate of the book. And if nothing is happening, let's go back to when things are okay with us. Let's forget that, because we keep blaming the white man for our problem. And I don't understand. This thing it annoys me every time.
Okay, Electricity, can you please tell me how you are expecting any accountability from Tinubu? Why will you get any accountability from him when you don't? I don't know why you're not seeing in this. If you're doing wrong, how can you correct somebody else who is also doing wrong? Yes, all these people are under Tinubu, but tell me how Tinubu will have the guts to tell them, don't do something bad. When
that is the problem. He can't tell them. He can't tell them. No, I agree with you on that.
You're coming back to the same thing that I'm saying. That is a stolen goods. And so you are not expecting anything good to come out of it. Because he cannot correct something that he himself has done worse. How can you tell somebody, please don't cheat in an exam, when you yourself, all you have is first degrees? You cannot say that to somebody. You can't. So there's no way we are expecting Tinubu to be accountable of anything or whoever that he appoints. That's why I said to you, for him to appoint people, if that person is good and they still want that person, they have to implicate that person. So the person will not have any way to say anything.
All right.
If they want you in their team, they will implicate you. You have some dirty skeletons in your bag that will make you to shut the heck up.
Okay. Mr. Agio, sorry, apologies for not pronouncing your name very well.
Stay with Omasala. Stay with
Omashola, I know that one. That is Omashola. I can pronounce. Is the first name I was trying to pronounce. Thanks for joining us. I believe you've been following the conversation. I'm not sure. So we're gonna give you the floor to weigh in into the conversation, please. Thank you. You're muted. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
I just stumbled into it and I joined just now. And then Nelly caught my heart. An average Nigerian is a thief. And why I say that is one thing she said, which when she said it, it reminded of my father many years back. When you come to Nigeria, he schooled in the UK. He says, when you come to a Nigerian, ask a Nigerian, it is, how can I cheat you? How can I cheat you? But you go to the abroad or in the UK, can I help you? Can I help you? It is how to cheat you is what a Nigerian is always looking after for. You go into government, you are not thinking of how to help the people. It is, how can I make my money from the government? Where can I steal the money from? Where is the money? Where can we get the money? How can we steal it and take our own share? You don't think about what effect it has on the entire environment, because an average Nigerian is greedy. Because if you're not greedy and you're the president, in your heart of heart, if you're a real human being that does not have Satan in your heart, you know you will not win the election. You are doing you want to write an exam in some months' time and you have not read. They did mock exam, you didn't go, and you say you passed the exam. In the atmosphere, everybody is happy. Yes, exam is coming. But in your heart of heart, you know you will not win there. You will not pass the exam. It's Tinubu. During the campaign period, the atmosphere in Nigeria was Obi. If you smell the air, you know that Obi is supposed to win. If you look at all the logistics and all the arrangements, all the politics and everything that has been said, the procedure for the election, there was no way Tinubu would have won the election. But they turned it around. Before money, they gave you tickets. Your heart, your devilish heart didn't tell you are stealing. Your conscience pricked you when you make your first broadcast. I know you did not vote for me, but I'm here. That was like saying, teacher, I wrote the exam. I cheated, but I have passed. That was his first broadcast after collecting the ticket. Just to let you know that Nigerian politicians don't care about you and I. How they get there is their own business. We talk about electricity. Is it not a shame I can remember my uncle that left Nigeria when I think I was 10. Every evening, you are outside waiting for NEPA to bring the lights. Generators blaring everywhere. I am 47 years old. It is still the same thing. Is it that these people are not ashamed? I'm in the UK now. I have moved here. Do you know I moved into this place, and anytime I'm watching TV and the TV blinks, my daughter will laugh at me because I thought they've taken the light. Because TV adverts will just come and then goes off. It is that bad that I am here now. The light has not blinked. I'm waiting to celebrate the day I'll be in the UK that will go off. Is it a crime that we are in Nigeria? We can't have 24 hours lights. I'm an architect. I do jobs. I still do jobs from Nigeria. And I imagine how much and how will I survive if I'm to use the computer to do my job. How much will I charge you? How much fuel will I buy? Before I left Nigeria, I will spend 8,000 for 2 days because I want to do a job that is not just maybe 10,000, 50,000. I have spent all the money. Not talk about my intellectual property that I'm doing the design for you. Nigeria is not working, and it will never work. I'll keep saying it will. There's no.
Mr. Moshola, let me. Permit me to interject. The floor is to you.
Let me drop before it interjects.
All right.
It will never work. It will never ever work because Nigerians are just still smiling, sitting down comfortably. Thank you. Now I can talk.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification. That is what we are. Okay, I appreciate that clarification. That is what we're trying to do, or to see to do, where we can help galvanize or help to awaken the minds of Nigerians so that they can rise up and answer the call of duty, like our national anthem, "Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria call obey." Our national anthem is now on focus, in our focus right now, because let's look at the lyrics there. "Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria call obey." The call now is for change, and it's for us to arise. We are not sure if the person or those who drafted the national anthem knew we were going to be in this position today. So it's time for us to rise, and that is the message. Everything you said is acknowledged. We said, particularly electricity. I have to say it's very annoying. There's nothing as annoying as that. I mean, the guy that my friend that does my graphic work for me is in Nigeria, and I feel for him because sometimes his battery is 2%. His laptop is giving him problem, and we're always behind time to get some things across to me. And I don't want to say much in terms of electricity.
I wanted to add to what Mr. Omoshala said, that they don't care about anybody. Can I also add to you that they really don't care about themselves? That somebody is stealing money and their children are abroad in school, that doesn't really mean that these people are happy. They are not. So they don't really even care about themselves. Then another thing that I want to say to you, I really hesitate, and I don't even want to. I know many people always say it in different platforms. Nigeria will never, 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 never work. I don't even want to believe that. I know that there will be a change. And I've said this so many times. 21st century is the century of Africa, Nigeria included in it. If Nigeria is not the number one, the 21st century is the century of Africa. It might be slow, but it will be steady. I've said these times, and it will be difficult for some people to understand what I'm saying. I have courage. I have the confidence. Nigeria will be okay one day. But you know what? It will take all these people to come out of there, there will be probably lots of bloodshed and all these atrocity happening there. But that land will be wiped clean. It definitely will be wiped clean. And like I said earlier, before you came in, for me, I was arguing with electricity. Electricity, I don't have to only go to Nigeria and assume a new position for me to even effect change. I will continue to do the change that I'm doing. I just told you, some days I wake up here, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I'm chanting Daimoko that the land, that Nigerian land, that
sorry for interjecting you, Madam Nelly. I want to block your friend, Comfort. Look at what she just said now. Honestly, I'm going to block her.
So the Nigerian anthem still exists. The last time I checked.
But she's saying the truth.
No, I will soon block her.
I got your back, sis.
Electricity. Do you know if you have to do a sample of
those guys? Honestly, I love you, my dear.
I'm going. She's perplexing my tranquility right now.
She's telling you the truth. What's wrong with that?
She's perplexing my tranquility on this platform right now, and I'm really serious. KJ, yeah,
do you know in the Senate?
Is that KJ?
Yeah, that's KJ. KJ, welcome to the club.
Ugly this time.
Do you know?
What's going on, KJ?
I'm already dressed down to sleep. But you guys are making such an interesting discussion that I just needed to jump in.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, KJ, welcome. We'll give the floor to you, then we'll go around again. We'll go to the next topic. Go ahead, KJ.
Thank you so much. I've listened to all of you, and I agree with majority of what you have said. The only part I seem to be struggling with is the part that she talked about the religion of the old. And sometimes we seem to misunderstand that the Christian Bible, as they call it now, was not actually written by the Europeans. This Bible was first written in Ethiopia, almost 500 years before, 100 years before the coming of Christianity. And it was eventually stolen, just like everything was stolen from us, and then changed to what it is. So if you get to read the original translation from the Ethiopian writers and already the one compiled in Ethiopia, you may get a different interpretations, to which now God himself is trying to restore some of those things. And so it becomes a little bit different except you go to the original language of the Bible, and you find out that a lot of things have been changed by those who chose to either rewrite for their own purpose or just to make money out of it. So you find out a lot of things, in language and in meaning have been changed. Okay, having said that, and I agree with you, Ma, and on the practice of the old. The Igbos have always had a way of protecting themselves and their communities. Even in my community, up to this moment, we still have some. They call it Arundizogo. In other words, it is what protects the people. Though those who used to pay home or rather attend to it are no longer living because they've all grown old and probably passed on. However, we recognize that there's a traditional way of protecting people in the old. And I haven't said that. I want to also say that, you see, God is a God of different dispensations. He deals with us in each of our dispensation, and he deals with you by the knowledge by which you come across. For instance, I interviewed a woman once who died and came back, and she used to she lived in Benin Republic at that time. One of the few interviews I've done, in my years of practice, and the story she told me was quite different from what the Bible narrates. And then when I began to pray about it, what I got in my spirit, because I had to say the Lord told me, what I got in my spirit was that God dealt with her based on what she knew. because she said she died and she went to a very beautiful place where people were lined up and all of them are trying to access the gate. And when they get there, she speaks French. So she said, when they get there, they ask them for their laissez-passer. You know what they print, the voice of papers. And most of them will present their papers. Some of them will be turned back and pointed away. Some will be allowed to pass through. And when it got to her turn, she was asked to present her paper, which she presented. And the man looked at her and said, "You're not supposed to be here. Your paper is not complete. Go back." And so she insisted that she wasn't going to go back. That how can she see this place and go back? That this place, she must have to enter inside. Eventually, 3 days later or thereabouts, after she had been put into the coffin, she woke up and started banging on the coffin, and it was opened, and she came out. It was a big issue because in their village, once you've been put in the coffin, you don't have to come out again. You must die. That die must die it. So it was believed that people are going to die because she woke up, but nothing happened. Why am I telling this story? I think that God deals with us at different levels, depending on what we know or did not know.
KJ, let's look.
Yes,
Did you see what is on the screen there? That is the argument we are testing. We're looking for a change. What is
I
going to
know.
work for us?
I know. I'm coming.
The argument has been the case that the white man gave us so. So
Yes,
if it's not working for us, where is the blueprint that the black man has that we have to follow to use and things to start working for us?
The thing is, let me tell you, the thing is, even in the days before things seemed to be working, when we were still in the olden days, we still have elders who collected bribe. Not all the elders were good elders, and people knew those ones who collect bribe. And when they get up to speak in the public, people don't always allow them to make contributions and the villages don't send them to go and represent the village because they know that they will go there and sell out. The question we should ask ourselves is: are we the only colonized people who the white man came to give a literature? No.
Thank you.
Are we the only people?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that good question.
Are we the only people who other lifestyle and ways of life have come to mix up with? The question is no. How come the Indians, when they leave India, even in America, India still wears their traditional clothes and all that and still worship the way they want to worship? The question is simply that we as a people have refused to call a spade a spade. Instead, we have now become more prone to accepting that this is the will of God, even though you understand let me put it this way. I don't want to blame the church. Okay, you know why I don't want to blame the book? Why I don't want to blame the religious distance? Because religion Christianity itself is not a practice of perfect people. People we are going to see are not perfect. The pastors are not perfect. The leaders are not perfect. The members are not perfect. They are coming from a society that already been brainwashed or bastardized or things gone wrong. And so consequently, remember, and I want to, this is why I was talking about the people of the old. In those days when we were growing up, you did not go take somebody something, because I give an example. There was a man in our community, if you go plug his mango and he didn't give you permission, the bees will follow you to your house. The bees will keep biting you. So because these people have a way of dealing with issues, they settle it there and there. It doesn't go beyond there. But we Christians seem to think God is very patient. And so we put our hands on the Bible and take the oath and we go to do the different thing. And so when people are called to the position of authority, they go and do a different thing. The other time we had this certain kind of debate in Woodruff platform, and I said something very interesting. I said there are different levels of Christianity. There are different levels of sonship in God. Some are just the napios, which means that you are just a child. And those children are the ones who get positions. I can give you a quick example. You see what's going on, playing out now in Nigeria. The lady who gave a testimony in 2 different churches, how God has helped her to become minister. 2 days later, we are now seeing that she has become scandalous. Okay, so those are people who didn't really know the purpose of being where they have been put. And when a purpose is not known, abuse is definitely inevitable. We have totally accepted that people can do bad and get away with it. We have totally accepted that a big man who is in the government using the money of the people to develop himself and his children is accepted, and we will worship or we will praise them and give them chieftaincy title. The moment we have a mass, when I mean mass, I mean more people willing to call them off their bluff, we will go further away. And people are beginning to get ready to begin to call off their bluff in Nigeria. Whether Nigeria is going to change, that's why I jumped in. You see, I'm not one of those who have high hope that the society is going to change. You know why? They are tightening the the knots, over the people. They are making the people poorer. They're making the people hungrier. They're making the people lack more. I just spoke to a friend of mine some minutes ago from Abuja. And he was telling me that if you see what is going on, people are totally really suffering. But Abuja is swimming with money. She told me Abuja is swimming with money. All you need to do is play their ball.
Yeah, let me interject you. Sorry about that. Sir. Yeah. Look at the statement on the screen there. Do you agree or disagree with it? Because
I'm trying to see it. If you read it out for me, because I'm using my phone, so it's not very clear to me.
Okay, Madam Nelly, we need to do an eye test for Mr. KJ. I'll read it out for him anyway. Since sentences for evil are not carried out immediately, and there are many ways of escaping the penalty, the heart of man becomes fully set on running the risk of doing evil. You want me to read it again?
Yes, please go ahead. Read it again.
Since sentences for evil are not carried out immediately, and there are many ways of escaping the penalty, the heart of men become fully set on running the risk of doing evil in the context of Nigeria.
I agree totally.
All right, thank you. Now I'm going to put something up again with all due respect. We are still talking here now. We are going to separation and divorce, which is another topic as well. To the white man gave us marriage, separation, and divorce. Is that correct?
Electricity, the white man did not give you marriage. What are you talking about?
No, it's a question. Madam Nelly, hold on. It's a question. We are looking at the same thing, that what they've gave us all this. That's why things are not working for us, or it's responsible for our backwardness. So we're trying to find a solution to it. Yes, we don't agree that is the reason for our problem. But some people still push this narrative that...
Who are these some people? Must we believe everything everybody says?
No, we don't have to believe it. However, you must understand that what we say, like, let me play that Rudolph video again for the benefit of those that just join us.
We should always spend more time examining the foundations of our arguments than we spend proclaiming the conclusions. The reason is simple.
Now, he said we examine the foundation of our argument. This is argument that some people are making. And the more it goes out there, the more some people will believe it. Our job is to push back at them, because I've come to understand that if we just fold our hands, we fold our hands, Madam Nelly, like if you just fold your hands and you don't say anything, you don't push back, you don't this and that.
No, but what I wanted you to say, probably you want to say that the white man has infiltrated the marriage we have in Africa in those days. Because
okay, let's go with that.
Our fathers used to get married before the white men came there. And again, what I'm saying, but before I start, I just don't want to forget this, what I jotted down. KJ, okay, if you're saying that the Bible we're reading now the old one was written by the Europeans or whatever. My question to you with that sentence is, so why is it that we just jump into things and we don't want to read further and get the knowledge to help us become much better human beings? Why are we then settling with just whatever Bible that we have in Christianity? I think as human beings, we should learn to really take accountability for whatever. I know that when I was born, my parents were taking me to church. But as I kept analyzing the way my life was going, I decided to change. My parents didn't ask me to become a Buddhist. No, they didn't. So with I just wanted to comment on that. If you're saying that there is an old written Bible, my question is, why are we claiming that we have left Nigeria, especially many of us that are now in diaspora or we have been to school? Why can't we look for that old one, and maybe it's going to teach us on how to better our life rather than focusing on how to do the wrong thing and go for just the money, and then because somebody is going to offer me 3 million, then I will sell my soul. I think we should just read that, then look for something and do make our lives better. That's how I'm going to.
We will come to that. We will hold a discussion on
that. But also what you're saying about the marriage.
Hold on 1 second, Madam Nelly. This is what you just said. Am I correct? So that I can correct it. If
the white the white infiltrated into our marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah, you can say that, but they didn't bring marriage for us.
Okay, so the question is, how did they infiltrate? What does our marriage look like, and how did they infiltrate into it?
When I believe in those days, when people get married, they get married for a purpose. These days, I don't think people just get married for a purpose. Like I said in your previous show, I said whenever anybody is ready to get married, whether you're a man or a woman, you need to have a list. What is it that you're looking for in a partner? What are you looking for? What you're looking for is not what I'm looking for. And again, even I always use myself as an example. I've been single since 1989. I'm not going to be forced because I've been single since 1989. Then every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes my way, I will say yes. For what? No, because I want to be a happy human being. I want to, whoever that I'm going to end up to be with, I want to be happy with that person. But I'm not going to say, oh, I'm so lonely, oh, I live by myself, and so therefore, I probably will go into one of these links and put my picture and said, I'm single, let's meet. I'm not going to do that, because I have a lot of respect for myself. And I don't think having a man in my life, the man is going to bring the sunshine. The sunshine is already in my life. And so when the person comes, we will share things together. So my question to whoever, that whether you're a man or you're a woman, what do you want in a woman? What do you want in a man? Don't go looking for a partner. Oh, if I marry this RN, then she will bring money. To hell with RNs. To hell with them. No. Right. So my question is, if you're going to marry somebody, or because the person is a doctor, or the person is this, and it goes both ways, please. I'm not saying that it's more in women or it's more in men. If you're going to think about it, if I'm going to now say to a guy, oh, I love you because the person is a billionaire, do you know what is going to happen in the next few seconds? What if the person goes on Parkway and then there's an accident and the person is gone? What am I going to do? What am I going to do if I don't have a stable job? That if you're there, I will still be okay in terms of if I'm going to pay my bills. If you're not there, I'm still going to be okay. Why don't we think that way?
All right, Madam, I'll come back to you. Marshall, I'm looking at what is on the screen there. The white man infiltrates our marriage. What sort of marriage do we practice, and how did they infiltrate our marriage? Is that what is responsible for separation and divorce in our society? Just the same way with politics or governance. Is that correct?
Correct.
How?
Very correct. Electricity. I want to, like we talked about the churches. Those days going to church and these days going to church, they are a different thing. Now, let me say technology and information has changed our mindset. An average girl watch TV, there are programs you watch people's life. You see where they talk about divorce as if it's something you could just divorce, just like divorce today, marry tomorrow. Divorce today, marry tomorrow. Growing up, the word divorce never came to my ear. I never heard it. But children of nowadays, they hear marriage, they hear divorce. Because you will never hear your parents, those they say, I'll divorce you, I'll divorce you. In a small fight here now, I'm applying for a divorce. Children nowadays now know what divorce is. But those days, just the same way we talk about reading the Bible, the way they talked about the Bible in the church in the old days, and now, those days, reading the Bible and going to church was be righteous, do the right things, don't cheat your partner, don't cheat, going to school. These are the things you follow. But now, you go to church, it is prosperity. You want to make money, and how you make the money is not their business. The main thing is just make money. And that's why a pastor will tell you, this week is your week. Miracle money is coming your way, and it's not working. The man you are telling all these things doesn't have a job. He doesn't even have a CV he wants to represent anywhere. He has even lost hope of working. These are part of things that are disturbing the country, disturbing everybody. Because, and when we want to say give an excuse, we say it's the white man. The white man is there in his country. He didn't beg you to come and meet him there. He didn't beg him to watch his program. Those days growing up, we watched Tales by Moonlight. Which child watched Tales by Moonlight now in Nigeria? It is the white man's program.
Sorry for interjecting. They must have light. They must have electricity now to watch
leave electricity out of it. The fact that you have the generator, you plug the generator, the child wants to watch TV, is watching a white man's program. There is nothing like African story for a child in Nigeria to listen, to learn. It is always the European way.
Mashallah, we have Nollywood these days, which is African Nigerian program.
Electricity. We're talking about children. It is what you grow up seeing, is what you believe in. I grew up watching all these programs. I knew what was right. Do you understand me? Growing up, I've asked a small child recently, I think 2 years ago, what would you want to be in future? He told me he wants to be a Yahoo boy, a 15 years old boy. Now, to him, in his brain, it is the right thing to do. If he goes to church, they go to church, they're holding phone. Your teacher is teaching you, you're pressing your phone. So there are many things wrong. It is technology. Technology didn't help in Africa. It is destroying us more. You go to a gathering where you're supposed to be discussing people. You go to a party where people are talking, discussing, and socializing. It is phone everybody's pressing. You don't get to learn.
Mashallah, is it the fault of the phone? Because, I mean, you said technology hasn't helped us in Africa. I mean, many would disagree. I would disagree with you in that sense.
You disagree. You know what I'm saying? You disagree. Where we're supposed to use technology to better ourselves, we have not used it.
Okay.
Now, if we have technology, we have phones, we have games, we have videos. Tell me any African story that a child can just pick up on a smartphone or watch on YouTube and be clinged to. Apart from, I think there's one program my child is always talking about, one Bible book. African stories that they have not heard. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The generation now in Nigeria has changed. It is the way of the white man they are thinking of now.
Omoshola, please, I'm also agreeing with what you're saying, but from listening to you, all you have just done for me is highlight the problem. Please follow it up with what is the solution then?
Because
Let me give you some of the solutions. One, majority of the churches in Nigeria, I'm using Nigeria because that's where I know more about. Nigerian pastors are the problem. Nigerian imam are the problem.
So why do we still go to that church?
Because Nigerians go to church because they say you must go to church. As I'm talking to you right now, I have stopped going to church. Because you go to church, you want to listen to a pastor talk to you. And then he's not telling you what you want to hear. It is always, there's a miracle somewhere. Do this. You will never see them talk about don't do the wrong things. Are you telling me the pastors in Nigeria didn't see the elections? Are you telling me if they are all sincere and go against this government, things won't change? Because your pastors in Nigeria are part of the problems of Nigeria. That's one reason I said Nigeria can never change. Because we listen to them every Sunday. They brainwash you every Sunday. You go there and listen to them. Going to church those days as a small child, I'm a Baptist. I grew up as a Baptist. And as a child, I have different programs during the week as a child. Fridays, I go for Royal Ambassadors meeting. We read the Bible. It's more like Boy Scouts. The girls have their own. Teenagers have their own on Saturdays. Ask me, how many churches have those kind of things again? The children go to church only on Sunday.
Well,
because the generation of Nigerians now are not learning anything good. They are not learning anything good. You listen to Nigerian news, there's nothing good you listen to on Nigeria apart from terrible stories. That is why you can see a small child thinking of killing his mother or using his mother for ritual money.
Okay. Amashola, in terms of KJ, before I come to you, in terms of going to church and reading the Bible or teaching the Bible, parents have responsibility, okay, to teach their children, or to guide their children in all aspects of the scripture, not just in the church. Deuteronomy chapter 5 or 6 says that talk about it on the street, on the bed, wherever you are, talk about it. So we can't put it on. You see, as adults also, we have responsibility. For example, you made a choice to join this broadcast. You also have a choice. If you know that where you are going to fellowship, it's not doing you good, you have that try to exercise that choice not to go there again. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we cannot really put it. I can agree the role of some pastors. We don't. I can agree with you on that, because let me give an example. Sorry, KJ, I'll come to you. I was listening to a program today, and where the man said, he was talking about Samson. And Samson, there are 3 laws or that the Nazarenes are meant to keep, which is incorrect. There are about 11 laws. But he mentioned one that Samson killed a lion. And one of the law is he should not come close to a dead body. So Samson violated the laws of the Nazarene. That is also incorrect. I was forced to go to the scripture to check it. Not coming to a dead body is in terms of human beings, human beings, not animals. We have the responsibility to check things. That is our you are the listener, you are the recipient. So you have that responsibility to go back and check if these things are actually correct. Like we are doing this broadcast now. Some people are on the platform, some people are watching us. They are going to check, they are going to fact check everything we are saying to know if we are telling the truth or not. Some people are, like Comfort in the comment section. She said the Nigerian national anthem is not what is in. The thing now, it is on your mandate we stand. So whether she's right or not, we don't know. So KJ, sorry.
Let me add to what you're saying.
Right.
Now, electricity. I can believe all of us here now speaking on this channel are almost the same generation. Do you get me? Now, back those days growing up and reminding of the back old days in Nigeria, and then now, parents of nowadays are chasing after money. And I can't blame them. The pressure is too much. My parents will go to work and come back at the normal time. You get to time to see them, we talk, gist. You get me? There was control over the amount of TV you watch. But now, your parents are not always around because they are busy chasing money. And then they get you busy with TV. You have DSTV to watch. Nobody controls what you watch. You have phones. Nobody's controlling what you check on the phone. These are the things that is affecting our psyche. And that's why when a child grows up, it's not about that age to get married. He's fantasizing about things he's seen in TV, the kind of man he wants, you understand, which is not real. That's why we have the fake life majority of them live. Be yourself is not part of what most of them do in Nigeria. So you tend up to like pretend, and then when you get to the marriage, you see something else. And the next thing is, of course, I can get a divorce.
Okay.
So they usually get divorces left and right.
This issue of marriage and divorce, honestly, I want us to dwell on it a lot. For I don't know, I actually schedule the broadcast for 2 hours. We'll probably go more than that because there are a lot of factors that often lead to divorce. So we must not, don't let us throw a blanket on it that it is completely out of place. So let's just say it's not completely out of place. But before we come to that point, okay, every other resolution to resolve this issue on ground, we have to do it before it's a final destination. Okay, so KJ, the floor is yours based on what I highlighted here. You are an ancient person. You live before every one of us. So you will understand what sort of marriage we practice before the white man infiltrate into our marriage. Let's because we are blaming them for all our backwardness in everything. So I really don't understand. I don't know when we'll ever have our own blueprint and start blaming other people. If what they give to you, KJ, is not working, are you not supposed to leave it and go and do your own thing and continue to blame them? The floor is yours.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for for giving me an ancient name. I didn't know. I didn't know I'm that ancient. However, on a more serious note, you see, well, those days, there used to be one song. I didn't grow up in the East, but when we go for holidays, I hear, all the people who are in the village singing that for young girls who were around at that time. Chingom, sweet, only maybe sumabo, simply meaning that chingom and sweet, come and chop chingom, come and chop sweet, they destroy young girls. So don't follow those people who have come from outside that you want to go and eat chingom and sweet. What is actually destroying our marriages?
Sorry, KJ, I apologize for interjecting. Just give me 1 second. I need to highlight something. I'll come back to you. Hold down your thought, please. I apologize for that. Someone asked a question. Are kids supposed to fact check a preacher? I did state earlier that as parents, we have responsibility to what? To guide our children. I think so. I think Marshall and everybody mentioned it there. Kids cannot fact check the preacher, but you have a responsibility to ask your child, what did he or she learned in church today? Because you guys went to the same church, except your child when we mean child, we may maybe not attained the age of 18 or 19. So you need to ask. It is your response, just like parents, when a child bring in something that doesn't belong to them or is a strange thing in the house there. Won't you ask the child, where did you get this thing from? Where did you bring it from? Who owns it? Who gave it to you? Thank you, KJ. I apologize for that, KJ. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. And you excuse me, you even went too far with that question. The answer, yes, we are supposed to check the preacher and whoever, whether it's a bishop, a pope, or whatever he is, as long as he picks the word of God to begin to divide it for you, you fast check him. That's what Paul said of the Berean Christians. I love the Berean Christians because they go home and they fast check what I taught them, whether it is in line with the will of the Bible. So if you're going to church and leaving your brain behind and going just for somebody to tell you what you need to know, no, I don't do that. Because I've gone to many places where people say certain things that are not correct. Okay. I still have one issue here in this place where if I go into the church, the one of the deacons, elder is always struggling with me. Please, sir, your cap, your cap, your cap. You know, and he's referring to a scripture in the Bible that says that women are not supposed to cover that. They're supposed to cover their head when they come before the church, because if they leave their head by, it's an insult to their husband. But that's not even the interpretation of that scripture. But let's not go there. I just want to say you have answered correctly, sir. And yes, fast check what your children are taught, because the world has become very, very deep. And the Igbo people have a proverb, which I proudly can say, that Enekebet, he said, since people have learned to shoot without missing, he also has learned to fly without pitching. So if you take your children to church, whichever church it is, whether it's your own church, your home church, or whatever, first check what they are taught. Thank you. Having said that, I'm going back to the marriage issue. And I say this because people tend to be drawn away, especially us in Nigeria. We are drawn away by foreign culture. We want to be like the Americans. We want to be like the British. We want to do things the way they have done it. But you see, what the Bible recognizes now, and I put it clearly here, it's not the white marriage that we all spend our millions of naira to do in the church. The Bible recognizes when the bride price is given to the father of the bride. So if you have not paid bride price, know that before God and man, you have not married them, no matter how elaborate your church your wedding may be. And those pastors who understand this thing tell you you are only coming to the church for blessing, for marriage blessings. They're not taking you as a man, or taking the woman as a woman to hand to you. That is supposed to be done by the father of the girl. And in the case of a man, when you have come of age and your parents say you have come of age and they're ready to support you in marriage, that is also an acceptance. I say this because I take my time to go through these things. And most times you find out that it is we who are drawn. You see, just like you said correctly, Hollywood, that's my argument, that is my anger with Hollywood, has bastardized a lot of things on earth, so that the younger people look at it and their own idea of love and marriage is totally, distorted by what these people push out. And the question I like to ask people is, because some of them are quick to tell you, look at how Oyibo people love, look at how, and I ask them, all those people who play the best lovers in Hollywood movies, how many of them are in their marriage? Elizabeth Taylor, of blessed memory, had over 9 marriages before she passed. Okay. And many other ones I can call their names. And all of them were they play the love movies better than any other person. And how come in the reality, they are not practicing what they are putting on the big screen? Now, if you come to America, the level of the divorce also is much higher than any other place. Okay. But unfortunately, like I said, we are copycats. We copy these things. We say it. In fact, if you let me even go deeper a little bit, most of our Nigerian women, black, let me not say Nigeria, African women, because even some of my Ghanaian friends tell me what goes on in Ghana and in Cameroon. They also do the same thing. Once they leave the shores of Africa and they get here, they become wild. And I'm one of those people who do not believe that marriage, there's no place for a man and there's no place for a woman. I don't believe that, because I've searched through the scripture many times. There's a role for a female. There's a role for a man. I'm not saying, listen to me now, because people may go and start quoting me out of content. I'm not saying that the woman cannot be a pastor. I'm saying that in a marriage situation, there's a role for a woman. There's a role for a man. When those roles begin to mix up, that brings about the conflicts, and then eventually will lead to the divorce. Divorce is a bit difficult in our society if we're in Nigeria, It's a bit difficult because the society frowns at that. But outside of the shores of Africa, it becomes so easy because here it's celebrated. It's not a big deal, you know. But if you go to the spiritual levels of the connection of what has happened before that, you find that it's not actually that easy. Most marriages that are divorced that are having children or that had children, most of those children end up to be some of those ones who are, not well formed in the society. They struggle growing up, they struggle living before they come to understand. So my advice would be, much as we have come to a world where nothing seems to be permanent any longer, and truths have become relative, like unlike when we were growing up, truth is not relative. Good morning is good morning, good afternoon is good afternoon, good evening is good evening. But now it has become so relative. So take your time, search what, just like my dear sister talked about. Look for what you are looking for. Search your soul, and if you find out you're not somebody who can defy authority or leadership to your husband, don't get him. Take your time. If you're a man who think you cannot take rubbish because rubbish will come, don't get him. So that we'll have less of that, less of the divorce.
We're gonna go around now, Madam
Thank
Nelly. I will start with you, then we'll go to Mashola and to KJ. You're gonna list two things. I'm gonna highlight one thing in the comment section and what KJ said, and we are going to list, let's say, two things each. Okay. This person in the comment said, as per marriages, yes, Western system of life which we borrowed destroy our marriages. And KJ now said, where is it again? We are a copycat. KJ, am I correct? Good. Now, Madam Nelly, what are the things? Go ahead.
Whoever that sent out that first statement, can the person tell me how?
Exactly. That is, okay. Hold on. Let me go back to that statement again. Mr. Anthony X, please could you clarify to us how this is the case? And now coming back to us again in the panel here. Where is this thing, for crying out loud? Sorry about this. Come on.
So if Mr. Anthony will tell me how, then because for me again, whenever I speak on this panel, I'm speaking with my full chest out. All right, I just told you personally, since 1989 I've been by myself, and I'm not going to just get into and start having a relationship if I haven't seen somebody that I match up with. I'm not going to do that. So if you're telling me and again, if I do happen to get married in my lifetime, you see this bridal David wedding gown? If they're waiting for me, they won't see my dime. I won't even allow somebody to give it to me as a gift. What I will do is go back to Nigeria. If it's Abada or Ankara, that's what I will use. And I will do the traditional thing, which KG just alluded, the Ibanku. That's all I will do. I will not do white wedding. I won't. Again,
Madam Nelly.
Hold on.
No, wait.
Land, please, before you. Only one thing I want to say. If you pay attention to everything I've been saying, even when I come to damages, all of us get to know who you are. Because when you get to know who you are, all these peer pressure will not affect you. It's over 30 years now in United States. You will not see me go to work with anything other than Nigerian dress. Nigerian dress. And I have been up there, and I walk into that office with sometimes it will be lace, sometimes made of abada. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it will be made from Ankara. I've over 30 years now. Macy's don't see me. Lord and Taylor don't see me. neither do Walmart or Target. None of them. All my dresses is either is made here, I'll make it in Nigeria.
All right. Madam Nelly, I wasn't trying to stop you because I knew we were going to go to the issue of white and traditional marriage later on. I wanted you to hold that thought before. Not that I was trying to stop you. However, Mr. Anthony has responded, and from what I am seeing here, he has thrown a spanner into the wheel. So I'm going to highlight it. He has provided just one clarification. He said in Africa, men are raised to be totally responsible for the upkeep of the home. Why the women knows their roles as a spouse of support to the man. Is that
electricity? Can I also say to Antonio, what stops men from doing that?
Exactly.
And I'm saying this because I single-handedly raised a boy in this country, and I made him stand by himself as a man. And his wife is still paying school loan, and my son is not paying school loan. My son takes care of everything. So, Anthony, why are men? Again, when we go round and round this circle, we're going to come back to what I'm saying. We all need to wake up, stand by ourselves, because everybody has the potential to be who they want to be. Let's look inside and do our human revolution.
Okay. So to highlight your question, why who is stopping the men from being,
who is
stopping the men? And
because if I'm a guy and I came to this country and probably my wife is a doctor and I distribute newspaper, I bet you I will use that newspaper to maintain the house.
In reality,
there's an Igbo adage that says "Onyekwe chiekwe," and I have it also in Buddhist philosophy. If you whatever you want to be, you have the potential to be.
Amashola, I will yield the floor to you. Can you weigh in? No, first of all, sorry, before we go there, welcome, Madam Gloria. I'll come to you. We need to highlight the things we copy that are not good. Let's because we cannot just put out a statement like what Rudolph said. We can't make an argument. Let me play that video again. I forgot it. Please give me like 2 because it's a very good video, and I'll keep playing it anytime I run a broadcast. Okay.
We should always spend more time examining the foundations of our arguments than we spend.
The foundations of our argument that we are copycat. What exactly did we copy that is or are not good?
And why are we copying?
Or copying. I was still copying. So, you're muted, Madam Nelly. You mute yourself.
I said, okay. Why are we copying? You say we copy, but why are we copying?
No, we
because we like the white man's thing. We like the white man's thing. That's our problem.
Come again.
We like the white man's thing.
Amashola, why do you like the white man's thing? Get to the point. Why?
Okay, let me give you an example now.
It means that you don't have self-esteem for yourself. That's why
I'm going to give you an example. An average white Nigerian, if you have a product from Aba and you have a product from Italy, put side by side, and you tell him, pick one. He's going to pick the one from Italy, believing the Italian one is better. We have never appreciated what we have. And being not appreciating what you have is part of the fact that our greediness is inborn. Is inborn. You will see a white man do something that a black man can do better. You will still prefer that white man's thing. If you have a project you want to do now, I'm giving an example. You want to do a project. You have a white man's engineering firm and a Nigerian firm that's been working. Our governors, our president will prefer the white man's firm. They will never, ever give a Nigerian that job. And it has gone so bad that they would even prefer to go and get It's a black man that is going to do the job. But because he knows his people will not accept him, he goes outside to borrow a white man to represent him that owns the company. Mr. Electricity, I'm so sure you've heard this before. It's a common thing we do in Nigeria because we don't appreciate our own. You get? So, like this married thing you are talking about, when she said she will not wear a wedding gown, ask any girl. They're always dreaming about this wedding gown. I'm an example. I'm in my second marriage. My first marriage, before the marriage, she watched all the wedding gowns film you can ever think of. And then when she got married, we did the white wedding. We did traditional marriage, which was okay for me. I can remember every single thing that happened. I enjoyed it. But white man's marriage, now we did. And there was a day my mother now asked her that, why are you not talking to your wife? He said, we have not finished the marriage. Do you know why? We did traditional marriage. We did church marriage. I didn't go to the courts. So my mother now asked her, so must you go to the court to say yes, you are finished? This marriage is now genuine. She said yes. And so she now asked, the one we did in the church was not enough. He said no. Majority of these ladies, because I will say the ladies, because most of the pressures we have is from the ladies. It's from the ladies. Because if you say want to do a marriage now, they will list things for you to buy, you want to spend, forgetting that after that marriage day, nobody will be in the house with you. They will spend, they're ready to sacrifice all the money they have for one day, forgetting that after that day, the next day is marriage, the marriage started, because that's where you don't know whether I can take care of you or not.
Please, I'm sorry to really ask this question quickly. Must you agree to it, my dear? Must you?
Now,
can't you say no? If you say no, all she can do is she will walk. And if she walks, she's not your wife. If she walks, she's not your wife. You look for somebody else. My question to you is, why do you have to be subjected under such a...
You know, what you're saying right now was my own mistake. And that's why I'm not married to her now.
Okay.
Because what she wanted was different from what I wanted.
Okay.
Mashallah, I must applaud you for admitting that.
No, the truth will set you free.
I must applaud you for admitting that. Because one of the problems we have is we don't say no, and that is the truth. I heard a preacher once was talking about the same issue of marriage, and when the list the girl's parents gave to the boy couldn't afford it. So the preacher said, go tell them that, you know what, you're not marrying again. They can go with their child. You can't afford it. And the boy went and told them, no, they said no, they have to withdraw everything. So it's because let's be realistic here. The reason why I'm saying this is we need to draw a balance, because even some of our traditional marriages are more expensive than even the white garment wedding that we're talking about. So yes, we prefer our traditional.
Yeah, you know, the traditional marriage, most of our parents value that more than the white man's marriage.
But they are more in present time. They are very expensive.
Yes, I agree. It's the issue now because
electricity. You don't have to bring. If they ask you for 5 pots of keg wine, if you don't have the money for 5 pots of keg wine, bring 2. Bring 2.
Of course.
And whoever did not get a drink, let the person go home.
I'm sorry, Mashallah, please, I apologize. Madam Gore, sorry, I did not. I'm not ignoring you. Mashallah, please, I'll come back to you. Let me just give Madam Gore some few minutes to weigh in into this discussion. I'll come back to us.
Please give KJ a minute before Gore will talk.
Oh, okay, KJ, you want to say something?
Don't be selfish because she's a woman. She's a very strong woman. So, KJ,
thank you, my dear.
Say your
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear.
Right.
Thank you. You see what he had just said is quite true, and it's difficult to say walk. And I'm saying that to my dear, because when I did my wedding, which was 2011, my wedding gown at that time, the wedding gown for my wife cost 80,000 naira. In fact, in that shop, it was one of the most expensive in somewhere in Wuse too, where they had bridals. I think that's the name of the shop. At that time, the most expensive was a 120, which she was going for, and I said, no way, I will not pay 120,000 for a wedding gown. And so we settled for 80,000 naira for just one clothes, and it was one cloth that was worn for only one day. Even though the dress was made in such a way that you can actually take off the flowing this thing and wear it as a dress, but each time she look at it, say, no, this is my wedding, I mean the wedding gown, why should I take it off? And so after that one day, we never used it again. Now, when it comes to that, you see, like we have said here, all that paraphernalia is just ceremony. It's not anything before God. The one that your parents have handed over to you, you handed how to you, is the marriage. And some churches understand it, and the pastors are honest to tell you, this is just simply church blessing. It is not we, And that's why some church pastors will find out from you whether the woman have been accepted, the parents have accepted to hand you over, and you have done. In fact, the church I used to go to in Abuja will always tell you to go first and do traditional marriage before you call for church blessing. Okay.
PJ,
So
let me ask you, let me ask you the question. So if someone does not go for church wedding, does that mean the marriage is not marriage in the sight of God?
That means you're not following me. Now, I've said that the church does not even see the church wedding as a real thing. It's the traditional marriage that you do.
All right. Thank you. I didn't hear that. My apologies for that.
So they tell you that what you are doing in the church is just simply blessing. You are coming before God and man, say you have done this. But the real joining is when the parents, the father, hand over, or whoever is standing in place of the father hands over to you. So most people, like in my case, my in-law said, look, I don't care about your church wedding. I just want us to do it traditional properly. Okay? Because that's the one that we recognize in their own tradition. For me, I already know that my church, I already told me that is the one that God recognized, because that's the one that is in the Bible. Okay? Every other thing you see is a white man's culture that we are replicating. It doesn't mean nothing if you don't do it. It doesn't mean nothing if you don't wear a white gown. But by the way, the white gown is supposed to mean purity. But some of the women who they are wearing the white gown, but their stomach is already 9 months. Okay? So where is the purity there then? Okay?
It's not only that it's 9 months, but you have tested the okwa. So what is the purity then?
And it's not because of the white garment, because in terms of purity, Madam Nelly just highlighted that is
tested it. I'm sure
that is where the purity is.
So you went to the girl's house.
You can wear any garment.
No. You see, let me tell you something. If I wanted to do that, there are many people who I wanted to marry, but I didn't get to do that. So they probably thought I wasn't, you understand, functioning properly. Because they say
you are both ancient and modern, so no problem. I can understand why they don't.
So you understand what I'm saying? So that's just the main truth, my sister. You see, some of them don't think that you are, because they see and you're not even going toward that direction. They say, which kind of will be this one? You understand? But having said that,
wait. 1 second.
I'm just telling you the truth of life.
KJ, hold that. Let's go to Miss Morio.
No, you said something important. We'll come back to that, okay?
We'll come back to that.
This is where the floor is yours.
Hello, electricity. Hello, our guest, Neka. Hello, KJ. And hello, Ajuetie Omoshola. All right. It's wonderful to come in, and I thank you all for the classes you give every day, because that's exactly what it is. You know, there are some classes people like me did not have the leisure of getting, and you guys are just equipping me with them, and I thank you. May I know, please, the topic we are discussing on?
At this point, we were talking about that we borrowed marriage from the white man and that we are copycats.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Actually, I listened to a lady, Chimbori, Dr. Arikana. I know, you guys know her. Now, when Dr. Arikana, one of the outstanding subjects she teaches is how we were taught by the Western world to abandon ours, because ours is, please, it's not was, it's still there. Ours is satanic. That's why we are called black and the rest of it. I also know that there are a few things the missionaries or the colonial masters brought that really are helpful. Education, among all other things. In our society, I keep saying this every day, we have a lot to relearn, to relearn. If we can put into consideration what is of benefit from the Western world and what is of benefit in our culture and bring them together, I think it may take time, but I am sure it will work. If somebody is saying, I must wear that type of gown, I would say, okay, go get it, go. But I'm the husband, have to buy it. I don't think so. That which you want to wear, go wear it. Buy it, wear it. I'm your husband, I'll stand here by you. One of the things I really want to look into when it comes to marriage and the divorce and every other thing is seeing your fellow human being as your partner. If you want to put equal, okay, whatever you want to put, okay, but let there be a shoulder-to-shoulder carrying and cooperation to make viable the union. So where that is the case, our people, it is funny what Omoshola said. Why I keep referring to the time I went back 2021 is that after I left home, that is the time I went home and I was able to stay a month. In fact, I stayed 2 years. So the home I had left had shifted from what it was, when I left it. Yes, when I got home, because I know what, palm kernel oil, I know what is in it. Then the black soap, I know what's in it. What we buy here, which, like Omoshola said, they will want you to, that's the only thing they will prefer above. They will prefer that to whatever is locally produced. Whenever anybody, the other day I was just listening and you were discussing something, and that is also where the attitude of the traditional people differ when somebody comes in with a lot of money as to when, if you compare it to when somebody comes in with what will be beneficial. Whoever had come in with a lot of money, even if they are lying, you who with the practical, workable, and sustaining factors you've brought, nobody will even look your direction. Did you bring something from I was discussing with Nneka the other day, the cloth we wear, the cotton fabric, most of what we wear in Nigeria is cotton fabric. And that is so biodegradable and so, soothing to our skin. No, we want what came from, and that. I am thinking there should be a relearn. We know what helps us, what benefits us, and we take some of it that the Western world brought and still pay attention to what we have in our in our culture and tradition.
Thank you very much.
I
I think what Madam Ngore is saying is trying to draw a balance, because not everything about the white man is bad, and not everything about us is bad. So we need to draw a balance. Chim, welcome. I apologize. We got we got the time wrong, or there was a mix-up with the time. I thought 5:30 New York time is the same 5:30 where you are. Please do accept my apology. We've gone far into the broadcast, 2 hours 6, which is very painful, because I expected you to. I thought you would be here from the start. Unfortunately, but you're a smart man. You're smarter than me, so you're gonna pick up. You're gonna pick up with with the conversation. KJ threw a spanner. If the topic is separation and divorce, what the white man, what is our own? If we are claiming that what they give to us is wrong, it's not good, it's not working for us, what is there for our own that we should use to solve our problem, both in politics, in every aspect of our in our system? So KJ, you said something that you threw a spanner into the wind, but let me give Chim the floor first. Chim, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Andrew. So you're talking about marriage and divorce, is that it?
Correct.
Okay. And then you said that, if I heard you right, you said they gave us, and I won't want to waste time. I believe this day means Caucasians, aka white people. First and foremost, let me say they didn't give us anything. They did not give us anything. We chose to pick things from them. This is the way I see it. I understand when we say they gave us because of colonialism and trying to institute their form of life. But if we look at it from the only thing they tried to infuse on us was their mode of leadership, their mode of governance. But when it comes to any other thing, I don't hold the white man responsible for what we do. We choose to do these things. Nobody has a gun to your head. There's nobody who says to you that if you want to marry 2 wives, you shouldn't marry 2 wives. Now, I'm not suggesting that we should go marrying 2 wives. Get me right. I'm just saying we had a way we were going about our life. By the time we started having education and started sending our children, importantly, to go to the Western world to go study, they began to pick up those things. Now, we're not the only set of people who go to the Western world to study. You have Asians who leave their countries for good reasons. Sometimes the government sponsor them, tell them to go study and come back home. You have Indians. None of these groups of people have thrown away their cultures per se. What they've done is to pick the things that they think are valuable from the Western world while keeping the ones they feel they hold sacrosanct and they believe should not be altered, if I may use that word. You know, China goes to the Western world, borrows technology, comes home and infuses it with their own mode of life. So, but what we have done, the black man increasingly is losing his identity, is the fact that we go to these places and we're unable to stand our ground. Now, there are some murky waters I would like to have gone into immediately, but I will keep that for later on in the course of the conversation. The point is this: if marriage is fully called marriage, when the families have agreed, the man has paid in the, and now I'm speaking from as an Igbo man. I do know that my Yoruba brothers have their ways of doing things. I know our Northern brothers have the ways of doing things. I know our ethnic brothers, Ibibio and Co, and name it. But let me speak from the prism of an Igbo man. So you find somebody you want to marry, or your family helps you to arrange somebody you want to marry. I admit that happens. And then you guys believe that you can make it. And then the first thing you do is, can you still hear me? Okay, because it froze for a second. That's why I was asking. So,
yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so remember back in the days, when a marriage is about being instituted, there are visiting periods. What in the Western world we call courtship now. So the lady will go to the family of the groom and go spend some time, not necessarily with the groom, but with his family, with his parents, with his mother in particular. He will be around, of course, but they will not let him do things that would not be appropriate. He will join his would-be mother-in-law to go to the farm. If she's going to the market, he will escort her. If she's processing cassava, and they're trying to understand her, trying to learn her, trying to see if she's hardworking and all those things. The same thing happens for the guy. His would-be father-in-law would want to see him. We'll invite him. We'll watch the way he talks. Watch the way he approaches life and everything. They are understudying and trying to get to know who this person is beyond what their families have projected. And then eventually, he will pay the bride price of his would-be wife, and then they will get married, and that is it. That is it. It's done.
Chim,
today now, yes.
Is it possible for he or she to pretend?
Oh, yes, but to what extent can you pretend? You see, back in those days, it was difficult. I'm not saying people don't, but back in those days, now, let me say a little something that is controversial. Because why am I saying now? Some people will say you're being chauvinistic. I'm not, but I'm talking about what is reality and what I have experienced and what I know based on culture and understanding of my culture. One of the things the guy will be looking out for in his would-be wife, as chauvinistic as it may sound, is she a clean woman? Does she know? So you will find out that in my place, the visiting time might be during what we call Harmattan season. They use that time to know how clean a lady is and all those things. She may know. If she knows, now it behoves on her to, before ever she starts having suitors, to start being a clean person so that she doesn't have to pretend, to be a hardworking person, to be somebody who helps her mother and her father. Because you're not just coming into a marriage to just be what in quote Igbo man will call oriako, meaning you just come to enjoy wealth. She's also coming to support that this and become an odoziako, an odozi, whatever it is. I'm sure Nelly will understand what I'm talking about, and Mbore will understand what I'm saying. These were realities. These are not things. And listen, before your parents will even support you, they know this lady. They've been seeing her in society. They've been seeing the way she conducts herself when she comes to the market. Your sisters see her when she goes to the stream to fetch water. So what is she going to pretend about? But let me just come back straightly to what you were talking about. So the point I'm trying to make is this: we had our own ways of doing things. We could have taken these things a top notch in terms of modernity. without necessarily throwing away those things. What do we have today? I agree with education. A guy is in school, he meets his classmate, or he meets somebody within the school, he likes her, they're on talking terms, and he feels, yes, this is somebody who would like to spend the rest of his life with. He goes home to tell his parents. His parents ask him to invite her. He comes home, introduces her and everything, and they get married. Now, when they're getting married, he now says he's doing traditional wedding first, and then he's doing church wedding first. He's putting himself under unnecessary financial pressure. Nobody has asked you to do any of those things. My perception is that once you and the lady agree, your parents have agreed, you fulfill the marital rights in terms of what we call bride price and all those things, and everybody is comfortable. You're married. You are married. If you're a Christian, for instance, like me, you can choose to invite your minister to say, please bless my marriage if you want to do that. But the biggest blessing you get is from your parents, your father, your mother, your father-in-law. The moment you have done any of those things, that woman is your wife, that man is your husband. So when you say they gave us, that's why my pushback initially was, nobody gave you anything. You chose. We watched when King Charles got married. Which traditional rite was he doing? Then after the parents had agreed that this person was suitable for him as a wife, they went to an Anglican church and got married and had a beautiful thing, invited all the presence of this world. Why is it us, Africans, Nigerians in particular, who will first of all go and marry by way of your traditional? In fact, some of us don't even want to do it. We're angry. We feel it is mundane. We say it is marrying. There are all sorts of things that we don't like about it. That is your culture. The Jews do it. The Jews have marriage rights. There are certain things you must go and do. Up until today, they still do those things. But the black man consistently throws away his own and then comes around and says the white man gave him. The white man did not put a gun to your head and ask you to change your culture. So to that extent right now, in terms of the conversation, that's where I would like to stop. I don't think it is right to say the white man gave you anything. There are a lot of things we can say the white man distorted our civilization. I would agree with you. But the white man did not institute to you to go and get married traditionally and then go back to the church. He didn't force you to do that.
Chim, the point we are raising is we are blaming our backwardness to we blame our backwardness to what the white man gives us, which most people have said is incorrect. That is not the case. If they say the white, like Comfort said, Comfort Barber said, if we say the white man, then it's not working for, let's return it and let's do our own. So that is the fact. We're trying to do that. We should take responsibility for ourselves and make our country work and make our own thing work. If what the narrative, I played a video that Madam, where I'm coming, I played a video that Rudolph made, which is very important.
Before you play that video, let me even say something quickly, if you don't mind, guys. When we talk about bride price, people run all manner of things in their mind, thinking that it's $1 million or something. No, listen. There's an Igbo proverb that the wonderful play between two puppies or dogs is that one dog will fall for the other one will fall for the other. If you watch where puppies are playing, you see one will fall, you see one will fall. That is also in my culture. That's what marriage is. The moment there's an agreement, an alignment that we love this family we're getting into, they love this, they love also, and we're happy to have this as our daughter-in-law and have this person as our son-in-law. The thing they call bride price is just playful things. Sometimes in my own place, the man might just tell you, go and bring him a cowrie. That's why we have a middleman. The middleman is the one cutting that family for you, trying to get as much expo, things that will just make your life easy. It's not as if you won't marry the lady, but on that day, there's some joyful, playful things around the corner. The brother will say, oh, this my daughter, my sister, we've trained her with this. You need to go find me so and so eagle feather and all those things. So that is what we call bride price. Not as if anybody is asking you. It's greedy people who are distorting things in this generation, who are the ones now saying you should go and get them, build them a mansion. No. My father-in-law told me, just go and get me, I want to see £1. And if you get the expo early enough, you go and keep that £1 and hold it. Or tell you to get him a cowrie, cowrie, this thing. Just go to the market and look for those things. That's what it was. It was a playful thing. And at the end of the day, when all these things are done, you see them, they sit down, eat, drink, rejoice, and bless this couple and ask them to go their way. So the white man did not give you anything. I still saw some of these things done as recent as a few years ago. It is us in our bid to be, what's this word? Want to belong at all costs.
Copycat, according to KJ.
Modern.
There's nothing modern about it.
To them, it's modern.
No, I think it's copycat. I don't think, but that's what it is. You want to present because other people are presenting. That's what it is.
So, Madam Gore, you have 2 minutes, please.
Thank you. I won't exhaust all that. Please, my brother Chim, does Catholic and few other denominations differ in their policies as far as if you married in the traditional way and you haven't done the church wedding, what they will do with the communion and other things that identify them as church members? That's all I wanted to ask.
Okay, yes, I agree with you that I'm not a Catholic, so I don't know what it is, but I do know that some denominations will say because you haven't come to do a church wedding or white wedding, then you can't be a communicant. So I agree with you. Now, but that is where someone like me now differs. Why, if you are really a Christian and you have accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior, why are you so worried? And you understand exactly what to be a Christian is. Why are you bothered about what one system is saying? You say,
no, they will excommunicate to you.
No. I hear you, Mbori. If somebody excommunicates you from one denomination, what stops you from going to another one? If a landlord tells you, I want my house back, do you go and force the landlord to give you the house? What we say is, okay, give me time in this instance. If there's a notice period, let me go find another house. Is that not what we do? So if a particular denomination or church says, because you did not come to them to do white wedding, that they don't want to see you anymore in that congregation, pick your bag, find somewhere else, and go worship. If they say, oh, you can still worship, but you will not eat communion, if you believe so much that communion is important to you, then well, maybe you want to fall for them. But if you know that the communion, that they're giving you communion is not a big deal, but you are happy coming to worship with them, go worship with them. When it's communion, respectfully stay on your seat. You don't have to go eat communion. What people don't understand is this thing. Some of these things are man-made systems. These things are not what the Christ that you claim to be following. He said, listen, and if my people perish for lack of knowledge. Remember, he scolded this. And I don't want to turn this into a religious system, but just wanted to make this point. He scolded the religious leaders of the time and told them that they put a lot of burden on the people, things they themselves will not even do. That is where the problem is. You see, the fear of man, the fear of the concern, I want to belong, I want to become a sar, a knight. I have to do this thing. These things are man-made systems. It's not going to take you to heaven. It's not going to feed you and your family. I haven't seen somebody who says because they've not been taking communion and their business will not grow as long as they're obeying God and not breaking major, godly principles. You live your life. And if it's so important to you, you go somewhere else where you'll be welcome. I worship in a church where communion has nothing to do with being baptized. Communion, if you understand what communion means, remember Passover, the Passover lamb. And the Passover lamb, as long as you have accepted to be a Jew, you are entitled to eat that Passover. Same thing with Christianity. Once you know you have accepted Christ, then you understand what that communion means, and you go anywhere where they are serving God properly, then take your communion. So I don't want to be blaming the white man, and I don't want to be saying, oh, because some people, it's your choice. Life is largely a choice. If that thing is important to you and you think it's a big deal, oh well, if you're able to understand the big deal beyond that thing, you will laugh at them when they are telling you not to come and take that communion because you know that this is blind error.
Thanks, Jim. KJ threw spanner into the wheel. First of all, thank you, Madam Nelly and Omoshola, in terms of we must learn to say no when we call in certain things. We don't have to say yes to everything. We don't have to bow to pressure. Comfort, where I am glad to see you to say good night because you've been a terrorist on that comment section. So you go sleep. Good night to you too.
But I appreciate her comments though.
Oh no! I comment I agree. She's just been on my been a pain in my. So good night.
I have to say.
KJ threw a spanner into the wheel. How I'm going to approach this, I don't know. This is in terms of. Let me see if I can put it this way. Some women have gotten married, and into the marriage, they find out that the man, that side of the man, is not functioning. What do we use to test such thing prior to marriage? Given to thou shalt not commit fornication. And we know how it is like when you get married and you find out, you the woman, and find out that this thing is not actually functioning. What do we do? Because let's be realistic here. Some women are facing this problem. And why the men don't disclose this, we don't know. But how can the woman know that without crossing that boundary that KJ mentioned? We'll start from Madam Nelly, we go to Mashallah, we go to Madam Ugbore, then Chim, then KJ that raised it up. KJ nickname is Ancient and Modern going forward.
So is KJ raising this topic because KJ fails to eat the forbidden fruit before? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
so
yes.
KJ, you're lucky, because if anybody finds out that, then we have help, because you go to the doctor. You don't need to be shy. We have technologies these days that the individual can go and see their primary physician and it will be taken care of. So it's not a big deal anymore. It's not a big deal. It's not a reason for a relationship to pack up. It's not.
No, but Madam Nelly, this has to be disclosed prior to marriage.
How are you going to disclose it if you didn't test the water?
You will know now, Madam Nelly.
How will he know? Unless if he has tried it. Has he tried it somewhere and he was told it wasn't working?
But naturally, he will know.
Electricity, you keep contradicting yourself.
Okay.
You're telling me the person has the person tried it on somebody else? And now, okay, let's say, has the person tried it on A, and now he's getting married to B, and B is saying it's not working? Is that what you're saying?
No, Madam Nelly, what I don't want to use certain. I don't want to, because of where I don't want to use use the word, because we are in a public.
But I'm not using the word, but I'm still saying the same thing you're about to say.
No, but I will know. I mean, I stand to be
correct. You're saying that you will know. So where is this? Is not working. Where is it coming out?
Because naturally, when you stand face to face with somebody, okay, with the opposite sex, and there is emotions in the air, you will know if it stands or it doesn't stand. KJ, listen, I am going to take.
Sorry, let me help electricity. I don't think that's true.
Nelly,
I am not moderating this.
You want to listen to
I am not moderating this aspect very well. So please.
Because look at this. I don't like when we mix apple and orange. Is electricity or KG telling me that the stand is not standing? Or are you saying there's no physical attraction? Those are two different things. And
Okay.
if it's physical attraction, because if I don't give a damn about somebody,
Okay.
yeah,
Let me.
rubs my hand,
Sorry, Madam Nelly.
I'll be moved.
I am not moderating this particular aspect. So we are having a discussion.
Let's AG be clear with this question then.
So the word is impotent. Okay.
So then you're saying that it doesn't stand.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Then go back. I said to you just now, we have solution to it.
Okay. Should he declare it to the woman? That is the question. Prior to. Should he not? I mean,
you have to be honest with whoever you're dealing with.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's what we're going.
I just said this in this platform before. You must have a list. If you're somebody who likes it, certain way, you must declare that. Because you don't want, because you just made a statement before, you said pretend. Please remove that word whenever I'm with you, because we keep saying somebody was pretending. You are not looking. Everything, the handwriting is on the wall, but you are not looking because you're so excited. You just want that person at that moment. Cool down and look. Look, you will see it. It's there.
All right, thank you. How much shall I the floor?
The chant is in the middle of the boat.
How much shall I the floor is yours? Thank you.
You see this topic. It is both partners that have issues with it. It is both. The man, let me give you a scenario. The man is married. The thing is, at every point he sees his wife, the guy is always standing. And then the woman is just there. She's like, I'm not interested. And if by chance they get to go to Mexico, they go to Mexico maybe twice a week. At the end of the day, she never gets pregnant. Because in her heart of hearts, she has been to Jericho before she got married many times over. And she has done demolitions there so many times. Wait to electricity. Wait.
No,
wait. I know I'm going to.
No, wait.
The man is okay. Wait. The man is perfectly okay. The woman physically is perfectly okay. But in her heart of hearts, the last time the doctor told her it's going to be a miracle if you have a child. And then he gets married. She is not telling the husband, I have this issue. Because most times, it is the man that's always put under pressure, as if he's the one not getting the woman pregnant. I'm giving you out of experience.
Oh.
Sorry. I think we're going into a different zone.
It's the same thing.
Let's do it this way. I need to listen.
Let me land. I've not landed.
Okay, land. Okay, how much shall I go?
I know what I'm saying. Because this I'm saying right now was what, when I moved into Warri and I got closer to my people, and I knew at a point, every young guy at my age then said, if you don't get pregnant, I don't get married to you. And my uncle told me the same thing. His children did the same thing. Do you get me? So recent, most time at that time is like, we can't say we are dating and I don't go there. And most girls have accepted that. It's only when you're deceiving yourself. If that's okay, yes, I agree. Because you want to get married, she's a beautiful girl, she has a problem, or maybe the man has a problem, you now say you don't want to taste it. Doing marriage counseling, I did marriage counseling. I don't know that man was a pastor, but I believe maybe he's a relationship counselor. He said, you forget church, you guys must taste it. And don't get married and then start having problems. Okay. That's why I drop it. But okay. I have one last bomb. The last bomb I want to drop here now is part of the topic we spoke about. I was saying Christianity and white man's story. Can anybody tell me the reason why you are being put as a president or a governor and you must, or you're in the law court trying to defend a case, and you're being told to swear in the Bible and the Quran, why not by Ogun or our own traditional gods that we have? Because I believe if they've been swearing Ogun and all our traditional gods, we will not need to say judgment for those who have stolen Nigerians' wealth, because God of Ogun would have done examples down for people that have stolen. They would have gone beyond they would have died. And then you coming to take that same post will know something happened to someone that did this those days. So you will not behave that way, because you can use the Bible and Quran to lie.
Mashallah, you see, in that regard, that was Malcolm's argument. In that regard, you live in the Western world, I believe, and their system is not perfect. However, they do everything possible to hold their leaders accountable. So it's not by swearing on Ogun or swearing on this and that. It's about holding each other accountable, whether you swear or you don't swear. Now, this topic that KJ threw is a serious issue, and I know why I said it's serious, because in my short time on Earth, I have met one or two ladies that had that same issue, and it was a problem. So I need to study more. I think I will treat it a topic on its own, and I will bring, maybe KJ will be the guest and the guest speaker, and we need to treat this topic on its own. And like what Madam Nelly said,
Because both ways, it's not just the man, and it's not
not just the man, but
Can I weigh in on that? Is that, or we're still going round
no, this which one? What do you want to weigh in on? This topic.
That whole thing about
I want us to run a separate broadcast on it.
No, but I'd like to say something about it. We can always run a separate thing. I don't
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What I want to say, Nelly has said a part of it. I am still in support of chastity, but that you have the fear of getting entrapped in a relationship like that should not in any way mean people shouldn't be chaste and wait for the time. See, chastity hasn't to do with church. It hasn't to do with,
of course,
white man's chastity is simply being. It's like integrity.
Yeah,
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and she rightly said it. When you love somebody and you want to get married to that person, if you have a problem, you would have started trying to solve your problem before you married the person. Now, let's assume, for purpose of this conversation, because we know that not everybody is going to have that level of integrity to say, oh, I love somebody, I won't bring a problem into a relationship. You're getting into marriage, and part of marriage is that you're going to have sex. Let's just say what it is. And then hopefully in the process of time, there will be children from it. So you cannot have sex if you're not attracted to the person. You'll be aroused. And we all know that in the process of getting aroused, we know what happens. So you have a problem there. And this person deceived you and you got into it. Now remember, part of chastity back in the days, backward as we may call it, was that if this lady is a virgin, there will be an evidence. And that evidence is what the father and mother will take home. We know this, it happened. I mean, if you've read Chim Achebe's books, you saw all those things. Those were evidences to confirm on the lady's side. Now, if the guy has cheated you and gone in, I believe our culture has ways of addressing those things. You take it to the elders to say, come on, I've been deceived and brought into a marriage where I'm being left in the cold. And I'm sure they will be addressed it. If the guy has unfairly brought you into that kind of thing, then he will need to let you go. Because if it is something, let's assume it's something uncurable, and he has only brought you to trap you in, you can't be allowed to. I don't think any civilization will allow the woman, because sometimes we make it look like Africans and black people, we didn't have ways of solving some of these things. It's not true. It's not true. Those things were there. So that person will not need to let you go. I also know that in some instances, perhaps, yes, they know that he can't. And there's an agreement that, okay, it's in name that you're marrying. You're allowed to go and do what you want to do. Maybe there's somebody else who is going to inseminate you to produce children on behalf of this person. And the lady will be put in the know. There is no woman who's going to be left in the dark about those things. The lady will be put in the know. If you agree to that, then you play that role. But if you don't, and you really want to, you want this man to be your man and everything, and he has entrapped you, he's incapable, and brings you into that kind of thing, there is a way out. You exploit, just like in so-called modernity. You have your way out by way of divorce. Divorce, to say, oh, you go to court and say, this guy is not incapable. He's incapable of impregnating me. He's incapable of having sex with me. So I'm not going to stay in a relationship where I can't have sexual intimacy with my so-called husband. And you'll be freed. Even the Jews, where we borrowed this thing down the line and became Christianity or whatever, they have it. So I don't think that the argument that we are having this day, and remember, it's both ways, both on the male side and on the female side. Some people would have removed their womb, and cannot bear children, and then entrap the man. So there are always people without integrity on both sides. But I always believe that there is always a way out. That's the point I wanted to make.
So, Chim, what you're saying is full disclosure. Would that be correct? From both parties. All right. I would like to thank everyone. Madam Nelly, we will run a broadcast on this again. I need to run quickly, and I need to bring this. Except, Chim, if you want to continue, I can.
Very shortly. Very, very shortly.
Raising her hand.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I should go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay. Please, I am thankful to all, and especially you, Electricity, for saying you're going to bring this back again. Reason is, when Chim was giving an instance, he said the lady will come during Harmattan. Now, why Harmattan is not the only time, it's not even the time, to the best of my understanding, maybe it's different from where he comes from, when you check whether they know how to clean. What you check during Harmattan is if their leg broke and got whitish, and I've forgotten what we call it, Cheffy, please, that's the name, Cheffy. This lady who is being checked out like this, did anybody come to the understanding that it is not their making, it is how their skin reacts to that season? And the lady is checked. Then when it comes to chastity, we know what we get to know that whether a girl is a virgin or not. It's funny how all these things are on the female. It is really, really an inside a space I want you to look into when it is discussed.
I'm worried before he goes. There's also on the male side. The thing is, we always make it look as if our society was not balanced. That's not true. There were also things to check on the male side. You understand?
Chim, I think I will do a little bit of pushback on that.
Go ahead, please. KJ, am I not correct?
I think we've not been fair in terms to the women. Even let me give you an example. I'm going to be religious. The woman that was caught in the act of adultery, they only brought her
in the Bible.
And they said she was caught in the act, where that is society. Okay, that has been there from. So we need to correct this abnormality.
Electricity, I'm sure you are well knowledgeable enough that the guy who adjudicated that particular matter was clear about them. They were being hypocrite, and they knew they were being hypocritical. Remember, that incident was not to solve a problem. That incident was to entrap him.
Yeah, but so I like the imbalance in the society. Whether to entrap him or not, they brought her. But the true law in Deuteronomy says, if a man is caught with another man's wife, both of them must be stoned to death.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The society.
It was not the society. It was mischievous people.
All right, you know what, gentlemen, we're gonna run this broadcast again.
Yeah, because where you're going, electricity, there's also another loophole before you go to this place where Jesus was.
Yeah.
Remember a woman who dressed and waited for the father-in-law and entrapped him.
Oh yeah, that is Judah.
Yeah,
That's Judah. So,
and she was right, and you know she was right.
So
David's children. This one was David's children. Ammon and the other boy. Nothing was done to the man.
That one is different. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, guys.
Listen, it's an interesting topic. We will come back. Chim, I need to discuss with you on your time because I need you here. So I want to thank. I didn't expect we will go 2 hours 45 minutes. So, but thank you. We shall meet again. Thank you very much, and have a lovely evening.
Thank you, everyone.